Hi, my name is Julia, and I am going to be documenting my entire pregnancy. I am currently pregnant with my first baby, and I'm super, super excited. I want to be able to make these videos so that one day I can look back and kind of see what I went through, how I was feeling, and kind of compare it to my next pregnancies. And also, I binge watch like all of these videos all the time, especially when I'm going through something. The first source I go to besides Google is YouTube, and I just binge watch all of the 2-week wait videos through third trimester videos, whatever phase I'm in, I'm watching it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my 2-week wait symptoms. This was super helpful for me when I was looking for any sign of, am I pregnant, am I not pregnant? Obviously, your best sign is a pregnancy test or your doctor confirming your pregnancy, but this is just what we do, is we Google 2-week wait symptoms. Excuse me. I'm super pregnant. So we're gonna start with the 2-week wait symptoms. So I have PCOS. I don't ovulate regularly. I don't even know the last time I ovulated before the time I got pregnant. And I don't know, I have no idea what goes on. So with PCOS, you have really irregular periods. You don't ovulate often. Anywho, one day I was at work, and all of a sudden I had like this intense pain on my right side in my right ovary, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to stand up right now. Like, I just want to crawl in bed. I feel like I'm only getting my period on my right side. I don't even know if I'm due for my period because of PCOS. My periods are so irregular. And my friend turns to me, she's like, you're ovulating. I was like, no way, no way. I don't believe you. My body doesn't do that. And so it just like stuck with me. She's like, yeah, you're totally ovulating. So I go to the Dollar Tree on my break, and I pick up some OPKs, which is the ovulation test kits. And I actually took one at work just so I could see, because I was just so curious, like, is my body actually doing this? I've never felt myself ovulate. I don't really know how often this happens. If it does, I just have no idea. And sure enough, it was positive, and I text my boyfriend and I said, hey, by the way, I am fertile right now. I am ovulating. I can't believe my body is doing this. I was almost like in disbelief, like, is this really happening? Is this just like a faulty test? And he's like, we got to put a seed in you. And so that's what happened. And there we are. We're going to start from there. So, like I said, pain and a positive ovulation test kit. The next day, the ovulation test kit was still positive, but wasn't as strong as that day. So I believe I was finishing up my ovulation. I was almost done. I think I was still like in my fertile window, but I don't know. And then we're off to my first DPO, or days past ovulation. So DPO 1, I had light cramps. I was dizzy, and I had tender breasts. I was also feeling really happy and tired. And then of course I had my first negative ovulation kit or ovulation test after having my positive. Next we have DPO 2. And I had a lot of really weird, vivid dreams all night long. I also had a pregnancy dream about my mom telling me, I dreamt that I was pregnant, and my mom was telling me, I don't even care that you're pregnant. And that's just not really like her. So really vivid dreams. And I also had a dream that one of my coworkers was pregnant, and I told my coworker, well, I'll be able to tell you that I'm pregnant in 2 weeks from now, because I don't know, I guess I just like knew I was getting pregnant. Anyways, it was all these pregnancy dreams I had. They were super vivid. And then I had tender breasts and like cramps again, tired and happy again. So then we go on to DPO 3. I had weird dreams again. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. And I actually had a really sharp pain on my right side. And it made me jump and open my eyes. So I just remember I was laying in bed and we were falling asleep, and it was just like really calm. Like the TV was off. It was quiet and dark. And I just remember this pinch in my right side. Now, God, excuse my pregnancy. All I do is burp and whatnot. But let's just say I got pregnant. Excuse me. Okay, let's just say I got pregnant that first day that we baby danced. The first day I had that pain in my right side. So that would technically be 4 days post possibly the egg and sperm meeting. So this could possibly be 4 days if this is when the egg implanted. I know that's really early according to a lot of people, but who knows, this might just be how my body works. Your body might not be the same. But I just remember a really sharp pain on my right side that made me open my eyes, and I just kind of like shocked, and it lasted for like 5 seconds and then it was gone. And I remember thinking like, this is it. I think I'm actually pregnant. Like, I think I actually was ovulating. I think this actually happened, sort of thing. I was also irritable, tired, and happy that day. I don't know how I was irritable and happy, but that's just what I logged in. So now we're at DPO 4, where I had very vivid dreams. One about my boyfriend Chris having 2 kids from other people that he didn't tell me about our entire relationship. I was feeling crampy, really mild compared to the jolt of pain that I had the night before is what I wrote. I also had a stuffy nose and a lot of mucus, and I kind of just felt like my throat was a little sore, maybe like I was getting a little bit of a cold, but I really wasn't sure. And I was really tired, like right behind my eyes, and I don't know why I wrote that or if that's a symptom at all. But I just was very hypersensitive to every single thing I was feeling, and I thought that it would be helpful to log everything. And I had a mild headache. Also, this night specifically, I remember we were going over to my boyfriend Chris's parents' house, and we were gonna have dinner, and we were ordering Mexican food, and we were singing. And I have never in my entire life had acid reflux. I mean, maybe once or twice, like once in a very, very, very blue moon. Like, no, I just don't really have that. And I remember having Mexican food and sitting on their couch, and it's not like I was laying down or doing anything weird. I was just sitting down, and all of a sudden I had some acid reflux, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my throat is burning right now. I can't, like that. I felt like I was about to throw up, and I felt like my throat was burning. And I turned to Chris. I was like, is this what acid reflux is? And he was like, yeah, that's it. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I actually really do think like I am very, very early pregnant. Like, I've never had this. Why would I have it right now during my possible 2-week wait period? I also got so hungry before we went to dinner that I was shaking. Like, my hands get really shaky, and I like had to stuff my face with so much food just to get myself to stop shaking. Then immediately after, I had a hot flash where I was sweating, and then right after the hot flash, I had a cold flash where I went from sweating to needing a blanket over me because I was cold, and I was just like, this is so weird. And then I think after I had that acid reflux, I was just like, I'm pregnant. That's like what it is. I remember we ordered margaritas, or they made margaritas at the house, and I remember telling Chris, like, I think there might be a chance, like, drink my margarita. And thankfully his parents didn't notice, and we got away with that. But I was just like, I don't know, it was just like my brain telling me like, yeah, you totally are pregnant. So anyways, we'll go on to DPO 5 now. I had dreams that night, and I said here that they just weren't that bad compared to the other dreams I was having about Chris having kids and my mom not like me being pregnant, whatever. I had heartburn all day, and I was burping after meals. And I burp, but like it was just like so consistent that I just couldn't deny it. And it was just like, oh yeah, you're burping a ton right now. I had a shooting pain in my boob. My nipples were sore. I was feeling bloated and feeling very full. My back and boobs were super sore. But I remember it being like off and on, like it being like, oh my gosh, this hurts. And then all of a sudden being like, wait, I'm totally fine. A little bit of a sore throat, excess mucus, stuffy nose, and tired. Okay, and so I kind of want to go back and talk about the burping one more time, because the burping was like a real issue for me, especially, still is. I feel like all I do is like burp things up and have acid reflux. It's super fun. I'm a teacher, and I was doing circle time with my class, and I remember just like sitting there, and a little boy was kind of messing around, and so I wanted to get his attention, and I opened my mouth to say his name, and you know, you could just be like, hey, so-and-so, and like they'll like immediately just be like, oh, oops, like I should be present, I should be here, not messing around. So I opened my mouth to say his name, and like as I opened my mouth, a burp literally like came flying out my mouth. I couldn't even stop it. It was insane. Like I couldn't believe that I burped in the middle of circle time. And granted, it was a great laugh. The kids loved it. I'm not really like embarrassed about it, but it was just shocking. So that was the kind of burping I was having. So I think now I'm on DPO 6. Forgive me if I'm not. But once again, sore nipples, burping a lot, bloating like crazy. My belly felt like it was moving. Like there was so much movement inside of it. And dreams last night were still going on, and I woke up at 4 a.m. to pee. I never wake up in the middle of the night to pee. I was so tired. I got hungry so fast, which made me feel uneasy. Also easily angry with everything today is what I put down for that day. So now I believe, gosh, DPO 6 or 7? I don't know. The next DPO. I was burping a lot. Dreams last night, I couldn't remember them though. I woke up at 1 o'clock to pee. Frequent urination. Nipples are sensitive. Very thirsty, like cotton mouth sort of thirsty. And I remember this was so weird, but I remember like my mouth was so dry. Like I felt like I had cotton mouth. My tongue felt really dry. And so I remember just like my tongue feeling so dry that I was like, I need to like look at my tongue, make sure it's okay. And I stick my tongue out, and I have like white bumps all over my tongue. I don't know. It was just like the weirdest thing. And on top of having those white bumps, I also had a canker sore in my mouth, which I never get canker sores. Like I can't remember the last time I had a canker sore before that. Maybe like, I don't know, like maybe 6 months or something. And then before that, maybe like a couple years. Like I just don't really get canker sores. I had excess mucus in my throat and nose for a little bit. I was feeling slightly sick, as if I was catching a cold. And I felt happy and irritable at the same time. Once again, don't know how that goes hand in hand, but that's what I put down. So now we're going on to the next DPO 8. I believe I'm at 8. I had the most vivid nightmare that night about getting held at gunpoint at a hospital with Chris. And another dream about driving to Arizona with my uncle. I think it was confusing is exactly what I wrote. I still had the heartburn, so much burping, sore boobs, super emotional, and very hungry is what I put. Yes, and then I also baby danced that day as well. Then I believe we're on 8 or 9 DPO right here, where I had weird dreams. I believe a pregnancy dream, and also a dream about saving kids from a pedophile sex ring. I don't know. Whatever. Burping, acid reflux all day. So lightheaded that I had to sit down, and I felt weird, possibly nauseated. which is super funny because when you get into your first trimester, you're like always nauseous. And so anyways, once again, sore nipples. And then actually that day I was just feeling so off, like super confused and just trying to like figure it out, that I was like, I can't take it. Like, I remember telling myself, like, the next morning you'll take a pregnancy test, you'll know what da 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 da. And I just remember being like, I can't wait. Like, I have to know, like, right now. And so I actually took a positive a pregnancy test that night at 5 p.m., which I don't recommend doing if you're wondering, because you can get a false negative if you're still really early and you don't have enough of the hormone to have a positive. So anyways, I took a pregnancy test and I had the faintest line. And I was just like over the moon. I was like, I'm pregnant. Like, I am 100% pregnant. I couldn't wait till the next day. Immediately, I hop in my car, I drive to Target, and I knew exactly how I wanted to tell Chris about being pregnant. And so I hopped in my car and I got all the stuff done. And it was so funny because obviously, like, the first person I want to tell is Chris. Like, there's no one else I want to tell. And I can hardly hold it in. He was at work. And I remember I went to like TJ Maxx. They didn't have anything I really liked. So then I go over to Target and I park and I get all my stuff and I'm carrying like my little bag of like little baby things and and I get to my car and his mom is parked right next to me and she actually had no clue that I was there. She had no clue like that she was next to my car. Like, she knows what car I have, but she just like wasn't really paying attention. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like, of course I'm going to say hi to her. But I was like, put the bag in the car. I can't believe out of all the parking spots in Target, she parked right next to me. I'm just trying to keep this a secret so I could tell Chris before I tell anyone, obviously, even though I want to like shout it to the world. And then we talk for a little bit and then she goes shopping and I go back and I'm like, okay, thank God. And then the next day I kind of stopped with like the thinking, like the over analyzing all my symptoms, because I kind of figured out what that I was pregnant. And so, I could not sleep that night. I wrote that down here that I had insomnia, but I think it was honestly just from like excitement more than like actually having insomnia. And I got up at like 6 a.m. the next day. I couldn't sleep. I was up for forever. I was like trying to drink like chocolate milk because that always makes me really tired. And I still just couldn't sleep. So I got up at 6 a.m. and I take another couple pregnancy tests, and everything came up positive and wonderful. And I don't know, it's just kind of like my body just knew, and I just like kind of knew. But I don't think that's the case for all women, but for me, I just knew. It was to the point where like I actually had ordered some things on Thrive Market, some belly butter, and I was like, why am I even buying this belly butter right now? Like, I don't even have my full pregnancy. Like, I don't even know if I'm pregnant or not. And it was just so funny because I just knew, like, I don't like wasting money. And I just knew, I was like, this isn't going to be a waste. Like, I know, like, I'm just pregnant. Like, I'm not going to regret this purchase. And I don't. I do like the belly butter that I purchased from Thrive. And yeah, I was just really excited. So that was my 2-week wait symptoms. And the next video I'll be putting out is of my first trimester, my entire first trimester, from the positive pregnancy test, everything we went through. And so I really hope this was helpful. I loved watching these videos. It didn't matter if someone had 13 million subscribers or just a couple hundred views. It was all so helpful to me. I loved hearing everyone's stories. So thank you so much. And I am just really excited that we're pregnant.